Welcome back. Amazon shares surging over 10%, well, 13% now after hours, after a huge beat on the top and bottom lines. And we've got a trio of experts to help us break down those numbers. Tom Forte, Managing Director and Senior Research Analyst at D.A. Davidson. James Chokmak, partner at Clockwise Capital, and Ed Lee, CNBC contributor. They all join us now. A very good afternoon to you all. Tom, I'll come to you first. What's your take on the number? What stands out for you?
What stands out to me is the profitability. So I think that if you look at the fourth quarter, we knew that the first-party retail effort did well on one-day Prime, but clearly the cloud computing effort did incredibly well. That drove much better than expected profitability in the quarter. So I think that's the real standout, the EPS beat.
What's your first take, Ed?
No, so I had the similar sort of look. I was looking for the one day just to see how that was faring for them. It was an important push for them during the holiday quarter. But AWS, I mean, that's accounting for 2/3 of the profit overall. It's actually for the year the fastest growing part of the business. So we tend to look at AWS as sort of the bottom line ad, but we looked at retail as sort of the top line. Now AWS is really pumping both sides of that, both ends of it.
James, what was your take coming into earnings, and are you surprised to see such a big leap in after-hours trade?
Yeah, I mean, look, Amazon was the most underperforming stock across the big tech, and what we saw is that this is the only stock across big tech that actually saw their price-to-sales multiple decline over the last year, down about a third. So I think what you're seeing right now is a lot of catch-up, whereas the other ones did see the multiple expansion leading into this. If you do drill down into the numbers, yes, the retail numbers were extremely strong, but online sales up 15%, and you are seeing the deceleration in AWS. So those are things to look at a little bit further, I think.
What do you want to hear on the call?
Well, I want to get a better read on, they highlighted India, right? They're pumping $1 billion into that region to help small and medium businesses get on their marketplace platform. That's really what drives a lot of their new areas. I'd like to know more about how that's faring. There was another highlight that I thought was interesting. There's 40 million active Fire TV users now. So, Amazon Prime has the free video or video associated with it, but the real sort of upside for them is them upselling other streaming networks like CBS All Access, or NBC's got this Peacock thing coming out. So I think that's where you've got a huge footprint. There's a way for them to sort of get more into that marketplace, being the marketplace for streamers as opposed to being a streamer themselves.
Tom, this big profitability beat, I mean, clearly AWS is, sorry, it's Tom Forte there, the big profitability, we have just lost him, excuse me, Tom. James, same question to you. The profitability beat came from largely from an AWS beat, but also better profitability in the core business. Do you get the feeling that that's sustainable, and what's driving it?
Yeah, I mean, look, the core business, I think that's discretionary if they want to pull the levers or not in terms of investment. But AWS, I think, is a little bit murkier because you're dealing with a low asset productivity business that is prone to a lot of competition as long as you throw money at it. And I think that you can potentially see an increasing amount of pricing pressure as we go forward. And that puts into question the level of investments that they can make into their logistics efforts. So I think that you saw a big beat this quarter. But, what we have to look at is the free cash flow potential in the coming quarters and the degree to which they can invest, because what can happen is if they cannot invest in larger chunks today, you could see potentially depressed earnings in the next couple of quarters.